Welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on the SortTables data viewer, and one of the things that came up is that we're seeing onChange get called even though we don't think anything's changed. So we're going to explore that today. If it's a problem with Swift UI, we'll file a report with Apple. If it's a problem with my code, we'll fix it. You probably ought to bet on my problem, but we found at least one or two things with Apple before. Okay, so the problem is, let's see, I guess I should put it back. In database view, we have a picker that selects the database. So let's get that up. Okay, so here's that picker. It lists out the database names, gives each one a tag, and it says, hey, if the database changes, that's this variable, you should do some stuff like connect a SQL database, set the current database, set the selection, and so on. Now, what we saw is the database seems to change. It triggers onChange even though nothing changed, just from scrolling up or down. So let's see if I can. Let's take this back out. Okay, so this was what we put in to avoid the problem. Yeah, come on. All right, so let's run it with that. Okay, so create database configuration, and let's set registration as not visible. Okay, and oh, we didn't print. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, database is now current database. All right, so that starts out selected. Let's turn off this table, and we're going to scroll down. All right, now we've got databases join SQLite 3. When I go back up, we haven't touched that picker. We haven't touched the variable, have we? Current database, no. And whoops, it comes back in. And go down, and it comes back, and down, and back. All right, so just the act of scrolling has somehow triggered this to rename itself or reestablish itself. Now, there is this notion that, views are structs. Let's see, yeah. So, in a sense, if anything changes, they should change something. But this is managed through @state, so it should be outside the struct and managed by the framework. All right. So my proposal, all right, so my plan of action, I guess I'd say, is I'm going to clone this into a new database view too, and reference that while we work on this. And we can, reduce the example. I used to do, I worked for Digital back years ago doing compiler stuff. And, what happens, you get a weird problem in, and then you kind of minimize it to try and get the least program that would demonstrate the problem. That way you've got less moving parts, so you can kind of isolate it better. I believe the picker gets drawn because the section gets redrawn. That might have something to do with it. Yeah, I think that may be what's going on, but I don't think it should change. onChange should be something changed, and that value should not change from scrolling. I don't think we reference it other than these two places. So here's the declaration. Here's the binding to change it, and then here's the thing looking at the variable to decide if it changed. And that those two lines weren't there before. All right, because that's how we track whether we changed or not for real. I mean, the whole point of this seems to be like it should. Oh no, I'm wrong there. Database equals database name equals current database, but it doesn't change current database, so I don't think that should do anything. And we do look at it, but we don't change it. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll duplicate this, generate a minimal instance of this that demonstrates the problem. Well, we'll clone it and then chop until we get to a minimal instance. And then I think we'll probably drop it into a new project if we can make it as isolated as that. Because this one, it's doing the UI kit and Swift UI and all that stuff. I don't think that comes into play with this, but the more variables we get rid of, the happier they'll be to do it. And the incentive you have is that, if your complaint is easily reproduced with a small example, the hope is that gives them the incentive to chase it because it looks like they can get it. If you just, drop in a 10,000 line program and say, this isn't working, like they don't know if it's really them or not. There's just too much other stuff that could be going on. All right. And then I say it could well be me because, this is, we're using a complicated framework and there's probably plenty of things I don't understand. So I don't rule that out. All right, so let's do this. Here's database view. I'm going to duplicate that. I guess I'll just copy this, create a new class. Database view 2. Well, maybe we'll try that. Database section. Well, okay. Where's database section up here? Oh, really? Why is that not being used anywhere? Config database. Database view. Huh, I think that is dead code. Okay. All right, now who calls database view? Yeah, we also have the previous value. I don't know if you can get it from the callback. You might be able to, yeah. I know I think there's a 3-argument version. Let's find out. Use onChange of initial colon. Well, I see old value, but I don't see where they're using it. onChange of, oh, okay. Old state, new state. We'll do this in database view. Well, I guess we can just do this. We'll print both these. Okay. Okay, so to get up, databases joins old state. You think that would be old state is joins. Okay, so it's triggered twice in the process of getting up. It seems funny in a way, but okay. All right, scroll down and scroll up. Joins. Yeah, so by the time it gets here, old state is still joins.SQLite 3. Let's change it. Old state is joins, new state is test, yeah. And go back to joins. Well, let's go back to here and see if that same problem occurs. Test.db. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't seem to matter there. All right. I'm going to take that out. Okay. Oh, well, yeah, to your point, I mean, we certainly could use it instead of previous database, but I don't think we should have to. So let's find the caller of this, which should be in our table controller. Database view, database config controller. Okay, and then let's put something in so we know what we're getting. Database view 2. Oh, whoops. Wrong place. I know, it's a puzzle. Why is it called? Yeah. That's why I'm worried. I mean, it just seems wrong. But, is there some, I don't know, recreating it shouldn't change it, though. I'm at a loss. Okay, databases now, and then we can see we are definitely working with DBView 2. Okay, so my first thing, okay, I'm just going to start chopping stuff out that I don't think can be related. Okay, we don't go in with no database names because the folder has some. So I don't think that will be it. Okay, let me do it like this. And then find the match, delete that. And then delete this one. Okay. Okay, line 20. Now, if bridge selection message is empty, well, I don't think that's going to matter. The only thing is the scrolling, right? So let me just put some stuff in there. So let's do for each 1 to 50 ID is self, text, line, $0. Okay, so I want to guarantee that scrolling is involved because that seems to be tied into it. So we'll throw in a bunch of lines to guarantee that it scrolls. Okay, and we have to scroll a long way. I think 20 would probably be sufficient. Yeah, 20 is more than a screen full. Okay, probably 15 even, but okay. So we'll go select something or deselect it. That's not changed. And it has changed now, going back. Okay, so that helps. All right. Now, database has tables. Yes, it's going to. I want to put another field in. Let's put a state in. Okay, so I'm going to put a toggle in, and then, well, down here somewhere, section header to save. Okay, yeah, down here. Is it called toggle? I forget. Yeah, okay, toggle, dollar, my toggle. Yeah, I should probably find an example of toggle. Oh, is on colon. Okay, and a text. Okay, so that gives me something to go down to and change. All right, now can I? All right, I guess the question is, do I get the same behavior with the toggle as I do with the changing the registration? All right, so let's run that. So I'm trying to get away from my data and get down to some simple stuff. Okay, so let's toggle me. Let's turn it on. We'll scroll back up to the top. It triggered. Oh, and I'm still toggled though. Okay, so the toggle is there. I'm thinking add join. The joins probably have nothing to do with it. Let's make sure this still fails. Yep. Okay. And I think the save probably has nothing to do with it. Okay, that definitely does. This definitely does not. That's interesting to me. Okay, so maybe there's something going on with how we notify. Okay, if database has tables, section all tables. All right, let's go see. Well, we know we don't need this. All right, bridge is database selection bridge. I don't think that's going to give us. Yeah, we're not going to get a database with that. Okay. Open database button. Okay. Okay, so before we change that, let's just make that show up. I think the picker's pretty simple. These names, let's hard code that one. Test2.db. Another .db. Column state resets when database changes. Sorry, when you say column state, what's that? That's what the onChange is doing. Okay, so now we're hard coding the database stuff. Let's take this out. Current database equals database names first. Yeah, I don't know if this is still a thing, but let's run this. The toggled columns. I don't see why they. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, if database changes, they normally reset, right? So yeah, I think the problem is database name is changing, but because if we swap to a different database, it should reset. We don't maintain the partial state anywhere. I'm still kind of debating in my mind if that makes sense to do, but okay, so here's testdb2. Okay, that's the 2 I gave it. And it's a real one, isn't it? Was it test? Oh, now that? New is empty. Oh, well, I think that's what we'd expect. Right. Now if I do that, no. No. Yes. Okay, so let's go out and print our debug stuff. test2.db. Okay, unknown.db. So those are valid. All right, so something's going on though. It doesn't recognize the database. It's not getting the tables. Table selections is bridge selection, table selections. Database is SQL database of current DB. All right, should start empty. That should have been filled in by this. We're not blocking, we're just printing. Database has tables. Okay, I guess I'm not clear why I'm not getting to a real database here. Let me step in here. All right. We'll run again. From nothing. Yeah, no tables. Okay, open database config. All right. Let's find out what that was. Previous is empty, new is test 2. Okay, so we set database, set the bridge database. Okay. I'm going to take this. Couldn't look up database. Okay, let's set this. Couldn't look up. I don't know why. Okay, bridge has a selection. Current value database name is another database. Table selections is 0. What if I step over? Table selections is still 0. Okay, let's print database. Ooh. Print database dot table metadata. Can't do it. And yet database, I don't know why. Well, let's stop here. Okay, metadata is empty. All right, that came after I commented out this line. Database names equals database finder.all. Okay, let's take that back. Okay, we should have 3 databases in the list. I don't even think you needed to do that. I think that form with the 2 arguments where we had old state, comma, new state, I think is the newest way. I think you might, I don't know, maybe it's worth trying. So let's, yeah, we'll put that in a minute here. Okay, so this, oh, the 2, they're SQLite 3s. Well, that shouldn't matter. Okay, here's testDB. Okay, that gets all the stuff. All right. So database names, this thing, wait, where? Another DB, testDB, SQLite 3, joins. It'd be nice if these sorted. Another SQLite 3, joins SQLite 3, testDB, test2DB, another DB. So there's 5 databases. All right, that's right. Let me add that to the to-dos. Sort the list of databases shown by the picker. Okay, but that well, we only had 3 before. Suspicious, but okay. All right, so we have this list. We're going to turn this off. Get caught up here. Can I put text in here? I thought I could. Well, go back to the top, go back to the bottom, and it's cleared. And the database we're on is testDB. Okay. Why did... Well, let's make sure I got real names here. TestDB. We know we got joins.SQLite 3, another .SQLite 3. Maybe my list was just not right. I'm going to close you before I change you. Okay, my list up here. Well, let's use joins.SQLite 3, another .SQLite 3. Okay, and then I'm going to take this back out. So the finder is just going to have those 2, and then let's put this onChange variation in. onChange of current database. Okay, so do old value equals is, well, current database. I assume there's a comma here. Just in. Okay, and then is that no comma? Old value equals specs 2 arguments that 1 was used. Yeah, I think maybe this is the old way you would get that old state before they put in this new new approach, maybe. Oh, yeah, we want initial because we want to make sure it's triggered the first time. Okay. We won't take. I'm gonna keep pursuing this other way. Okay, so there's join SQLite. Make sure we got the behavior. Back and back. All right. So toggle me is not doing anything. More's the pity because I don't know what's the problem. Okay, toggle is nothing. I also think we don't need the button because the error is while we're scrolling. It's not while we're clicking. Now, oh, I guess that's good news. We're not worried about this. It still fails with a constant. All right, so we've decoupled it from the database finder at least. Now, okay, if it's called, it certainly clears out our data. So that's definitely the thing that's doing it. But why? And I do think I can make this a little smaller. I guess I gotta look at this. Okay, so I think we could make a one table view with a table selection, wherever that's coming from. So this list of table selections. Okay, so could I do one table view with table selection being $bridge.selections dot table selection sub 0. Okay, we'll turn this off. Scroll down. I turned it off before I even got. I missed it. Right there, just as we're coming in. Okay, well, that's good. We've reduced something. Okay. So can I get one table view a little simpler? Like, let's take out the columns. Let's just show this selectable table button. Selection is bridge, whatever. And this. Includes table. Bridge. Class. Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow. Okay. I'm going to take this out because we know it does have tables. Okay. But boy, I want to get rid of that. Let's see selectable table button. Okay. It's just a toggle. Toggle is just that. Okay. Let's just manipulate my toggle and see if that works. Okay, so do my toggle if selection I think he doesn't want the $sign, yeah. Well, no, that's not going to be quite right, is it? Problem lies in the onChange listener. It should not run the code if the old stays the same as the new. Yeah, I think that's true. The problem is what's triggering it to be. Why is it called? I mean, I just don't. I don't know what that is. All right, let me self.toggle if toggle. Whoops. It's really if my toggle. Okay, let's see if this does it. Oops. Oh no. Oops. Okay. I guess I want this out. Okay, so if I toggle that, no. again, I just don't know if this is making any difference or not. So this one is not passing in a binding, it's passing in an actual variable. And maybe that's the difference. Oh, did it do it? Turn it off. Back up here, back down here, back up here. No. I don't know. I thought I saw it, but maybe it's easy to mistake stuff. Okay. He doesn't care about this one. This off. No. This should be here. Maybe that's why my thing broke when I had this. You said the toggle to match the selection problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. No, okay, I've screwed up something. All right, let's go after the other. So we're saying onChange would do something like, well, let's not make it a toggle then. Let's make it a count equals 0, and then an increment button. But when you change databases, we want to reset my toggle equals 0. And then in here, my toggle plus equals 1. And then here, well, I think I can just print my toggle. Toggle's not the best word for it, but okay. Okay, toggle is 0. If I click it, it goes to 1, 2, back to 0. Okay, this is progress. Thank you. Okay. Now, navigation. Like, is it the navigation view that creates any problem? I think the navigation view controls how the form, or affects how the form looks. Now, I don't think current database should. Oh no, that does need to be there. Okay, because we're looking at that. This doesn't need to be there. This should be irrelevant to what we're doing. I don't think we do anything with the bridge at this point. Okay. Okay, we'll toggle this a couple times. Go back up here. Go back down here. All right, we're getting there. Database U2. Okay, so I'm going to take out this stuff. Database. I guess the fast way is just to do it. I don't think we care about this. I think this is our workarounds. We don't need that. I don't think we need this. Navigation stack. It's pretty clear where we are. The picker. It shouldn't matter that it's in a section. Okay, hopefully we'll still see the problem. Okay, the new is joins.sqlite 3. Toggle a couple times. And there it goes. Okay. Well, I think we can take this file and let's make a brand new project. New project app. Swift UI, Swift, yes, yes. Don't think we need tests for this. Well, let's make a new file. What's your problem? Oh, Mac OS. Well, let's see if it demonstrates it even without being in the simulator. Well, this is weird. Okay. Let's make content view call this. Looks like we may need more lines here. Four. Yeah, that's a little funny. But he still does on create on up here, right? Let's do that. I mean, maybe we're doing something that's causing that, because we do have an invalid value on the initial selection. Current database equals that. Yeah, because he hasn't really picked the tag. Let's try that again. How do we initialize a picker? Where? Swift UI picker. For it is self. Selected flavors in. Boy, they're very careful to tie it in, aren't they? I mean, it's interesting that they assume you can set this at the beginning. Now, Okay, so let's just make this equal to joins does equal 3. Because the tag is the string itself, so I'm hoping that's good enough. Yeah, that's why I don't quite see, because like if you've got dynamic lists, oh, this is running on the other window. Okay, we got a dynamic list. Okay, so toggle, toggle, toggle. I don't get to scroll though. So I'm gonna have to make this a bigger number. And this still may not show up. See, an error number again, picker change. Now, where are you running it? Way over there. Okay, fine. Well, it just squeezes it in. Huh. What if I gave it 50? But yeah, here we go. Flock failed to lock list file. Com xp123 pick on change slash com xp123 Apple middle libraries list. What does that even mean? Okay, let's simplify some names. Well, maybe option 1, option 2, option 3. Okay, this can be option 1. And make this bigger. Okay, can you scroll? I don't know. He doesn't scroll. Now, if I pick option 2, it should reset. Okay. Oops. Does it matter that it's navigation view? Well, that's the one up here. So, okay, something weird like this. I don't know how to make, I guess. Just put on the outside. Too many windows. Okay. Can I limit the height of the form or the view? Okay. Since I dragged it over, it expanded, but that's okay. Here we go. All right, so if I go down here and I toggle, I can go back up here, and then back down here, and then back up here, and back down there. So that does not appear to be an issue on the Mac OS side. Now, I don't know if I can change my project. Let's try adding a destination. iPad. Sure. All right. Now, let's run this on iPad. Okay, so we'll run it on iPad Pro 11-inch. Limit the height of the form. Yeah, I think it'll resize okay and be there. I have no idea where that simulator is going to run. It's going to be this one. Okay. Take a minute. That's not it. That's it. And that's still not running. All right, let's get this over here. My disk is still rolling around, so I'm hoping it's doing something. Hard to know. I don't know if you put a picker like outside a form. Well, we don't know if this will trigger with a scroll view instead of being inside a form that does it. This is not promising. I don't know what would be an issue for the Mac, iPad. I hate waiting for these initial starts. I thought my upgrade of Xcode would help a little bit based on what John Reed was saying, but if it helped a little, it didn't help enough. Just never know in that first run. All right, this thing's still trying to run. And well, okay, maybe there's a chance for this thing. Well, what's weird is this does seem to work for the Mac. This was navigation view before. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Now, what is this? Okay. Let's do some toggling. Option 1 hasn't changed. And it is. Okay, so this is actually progress because it works on Mac, but not on iOS. At least I think. Okay, so now let's set the target to Mac and run it again. Is navigation view a Mac thing? Okay. Oh. Does not scroll. Okay. So Mac liked the scroll view, but not the navigation view. Okay, let's do a little search. You need to provide sizes for the panels. Must provide a window size. Okay, well, and that goes on the navigation view. Whoops. Still running on Mac. Well, I had explicitly put a scroll bar on the Mac one. Are we running? Okay. All right, so that's with that max frame. Well, that's still annoying. Guess I didn't do everything they did. Is this the same thing? So if you get edit back when needed. So I gave this thing a thing that says be as big as you can, and then the window can only be a certain amount. But that's not acting like a scroll view. And it has no scroll bars. Like, guys. Did I take out scroll view? I guess I did. Okay, I got no equal option 1. There's the scroll view. Okay, let's toggle. Back, down, up, down. Okay. And then let's run this on the iPad version to make sure I got one that still feels there. iPad simulator. Oh, that's the... Is that the thing running? Oh, so annoying. Okay, that is this one. Doing that gives me contents with nothing in them. Whoops, what was going to happen? Okay, I'm going to concentrate on the iPad version. Yeah, I think we just had this. Okay, and then let's just run that preview. If it ran or not. Well, this navigation view is annoying enough. Okay, toggle. Go back down. Okay. I think this gives us something to work with. Okay, we got options, current option, toggle, stack, and a form. Let's take out the navigation view. Okay. I can go back to a smaller number of lines. Okay. Let's go back to 20 lines. Oops. Move the onChange up one step to the form. Okay, let me make sure we're good here. I don't think I need this for iPad. Okay, old is option one, new is option. Do I have a space after my? I do. Okay. New is option one, current is option one. All right. Suggestion. Just listen. Yeah, I don't think it has to be on the picker. Moving it to the form. Yeah. I don't know where that's coming from. Huh. Wow. It gets reinitialized when the picture is redrawn. Okay. Well, I don't know if that's our error or theirs, or my error, I should say. Okay, let me move this back to the picker just to verify that's the difference. Yep, that's it. Okay, I think it gets reinitialized when the picker's redrawn. I guess that must be what it's going on. I mean, it seems funny to me that it should do that. I mean, current is a variable outside up here, you know, so I don't see why it should be relevant. Let me put it down here. I don't know where this is coming from because I don't have a space there anymore. It's just remembers it. Okay. All right. I think you've hit it. Yeah. That having it too close, let it get notified at the wrong time. Wowzers. Okay. All right. It's good time for a break. It strikes me as odd behavior. Like, yeah, it just strikes me as an odd rule to follow, but I don't mind having it up by the action, the initialization, because it reads better to me. You know, the stuff inside is now view and not this kind of mix of action. But yeah, all right. Well, let's take that break, 3 or 4 minutes, and come back. We'll clean up in this project and reinitialize everything and then delete that old project. All right. See you in a few. His special mobile device. Yeah, thanks, guys. All right, welcome back. I did have a thought on this before we leave it. I wonder if that initial thing is only act is the troublemaker. So initial true. Okay. So what we had before was the first time it calls, it should tell us. Excuse me. I wonder if initial true makes it do it on the object it's on, in effect. So it resets because the component reset, if that makes sense. But look at that. Okay, now I'll undo it. Make sure. Oops. Oops. Ah. Put this up here. Put this up here. Change. So I don't know. Maybe do I need the initial true? This is with initial. Yep. Oh, how weird. But with the form, you're not initializing the form every time. So while it's still on screen, maybe I don't know. All right. I don't know. Is that a bug or not? Let's read about onChange initial. All right. Run when the view initially appears. Okay, that makes me wonder one more thing. Like, can I have the same variable twice? With init. Without init. Well, it's going to change it, isn't it? But I'm curious. Okay, will it call them? Will it call them both and only call the one? Okay, with init. It never called the other one. Okay, interesting. All right, so I don't know if it's a bug or not. Yeah, the picker view is out of sight. So, yeah, I guess it has the option to initialize that view. That it certainly doesn't have to hold it around, and that's the point of having the structs. But woof. Okay, so now let's see. There used to be a. Here we go. All right. So in here, let's take that onChange. We don't want database view 2. I'm going to take that out. Let's see who's left if I do that. Database view, delete. I guess I will just revert. I'll keep some text. Well, I guess this is what we want it to be. Okay, everything we did in the main project this morning. Change should only say to do. Keynote. Okay. All right. Let's do clear issues, clear tests, clear build folder. And we'll do test and then run. Is that a real error? Extra arguments at 2, 3, and 4. Database config controller. Net. Coder. There we go. Okay. Tests are happy. Run should be happy. And we want database view. Okay, so now, well, let's make sure it behaves the way it did. Well, I don't know. Oh, am I going crazy? What's up here? I think this is what we did. Unjoin tables, yes. Well, we weren't adding joins this morning. I can certainly add some. I don't know why this is. Oh, whoops. His top must disappear up. Okay. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay. No. It maybe. I mean, it may be inconsistent. Oh, that's really annoying. No, it's just totally weird. But I saw it once. Oh, that disappears it. That's that way that sheet thing works, which is annoying. Now, I mean, the real thing though is if it's triggered by a view being triggered, like we don't control that. That's up to the system. Let me quit. It may be, it may have cached something somewhere to do that. I don't know. All right, join SQLite 3 has the stuff. Let's turn off registration. Send this up. I'm glad this is on video and you all see it. Well, what it does convince me is that we should be able to move this down. Oh, did I comment this out? No. Oh. Okay, let's comment this out because that's what we put in to fix it. All right. Sorry about that. I guess I must have commented out this morning when we saw it and then restored it and got rid of it. All right. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now, let's take this down after the on up here. So I think that, in a way, reads better to me. You know, like on up here, do this stuff. If this changes, do this stuff. But the stuff in the middle is the view, and it's much more close to being pure view. I don't think we're there because the button stuff's a little complicated, but you know, it's closer. Okay, let's now our claim is we don't need this stuff anymore because being on the whole view, it should never redraw the whole view, I guess. Okay, joins, registration, go up, come down. Yeah, that seems okay. So let's take out the previous database stuff. Okay. Well, this appears to be no longer used. Okay. All right, let's run tests. They shouldn't have break. It just touched some view stuff. Okay. Move onChange with initial true to the whole view, not just the picker. Push stage all. Okay. Create a, well, I don't know if it's a real problem or not. I mean, I guess initial true says when the view gets drawn the first time, and we know we're allowed to throw away views, so I guess it's not an issue. It's certainly unexpected, but that's about me, not about them. Okay. Oh, back to the next problem. So we tried the Codable thing, and that didn't really quite go. Sort the list of databases shown by the picker. You know, that's not hard. All right, let's tackle that first here. Database names. Well, I feel like that should be part of this thing's job. Oh. Matching. Okay, that's those. Now, another DB is empty. Another SQLite 3 is not. Joins is not. Test is not. Test 2 is empty. Okay. Well, I don't think there's much value to that first one, another DB. Okay, we'll just take it out. All right. Another SQLite. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, make database selection able to be the memento, make it all components be codable. We did that and then something didn't work. I feel like, well, I'm not quite sure why. I guess we got to find database selection. All right, so we want to make this thing codable. Let's start at the bottom, join, and scoped column. Okay, just has 2 strings, that's fine. Join should be codable. Database selection, table selection. Depends on table metadata. A string and an array should be codable. And database selection should be codable. All right. Nobody should be caring. That's just a thing we said was true and nobody's depending on it. And I think any solution that does that is going to have them codable. So we'll check this in. Make database selection and its components all codable. Probably mark is more accurate. Okay. Well, whoops, we had that too. Oh well. Okay. Now let's find that config memento. Oh, we added a format. Let's do this. I don't know that database configuration adds much there. Maybe that's enough. Okay, we want that decoded. And I don't know if I'm just being too paranoid to put that in the first place, but again, it shouldn't hurt anybody. Give that a format identifier. Okay. Well, that probably was one of the places that will change. Okay, and now okay, database configuration relies on that. A bunch of tests rely on that. Okay, so we would like to just be writing selection. And then who does up here? Oh, that's a test. I guess it's this. So I don't know. Yesterday we did this and it kind of fell apart. All right, open string. Let's produce a database selection. Config. Try read. Format does not equal database selection, not format. Cannot return expression. Now, why does it think? Oh, this is our function. I had the same problem yesterday. Database selection. Okay, given a file, read the JSON. So we have to tell it the file type somewhere. It goes and finds it, decodes a database selection from the data, or it fails. Okay. Right. And then save takes a database selection, and we'll fix the names afterwards. If database configuration error, write JSON, which should take a database selection. Okay, let's make sure this one's file name, database selection. Can you overwrite? Open the file manager, find where to put it. Try to write it if the file manager exists. Oh, encode. And then create the file based on the data. Contents data. Okay. Now, this is where it blew up yesterday. Oh no, there's still some more. Oh, okay, those tests, right. Save configuration view. Is going to write selection rather than memento. Table controller. Database selection config. Well, this is database selection is now coming directly, and this one's going away. All right, and then these tests. Okay, they all call to memento. Well, they are database configuration tests. I will give them that. I don't know if I can. I'm going to take the easy way out for a minute here. So database selection takes the memento version. So we'll do that in the test, but in the long run, we'll have to do something different. Okay, so let selection equal database selection with config for config, and then we write the selection. Somebody's still not happy. Oh, that went away. Okay, that solved that one. With the config, I guess I should pull that. Okay, this is original config. And then configuration is going to be selection. And then we're going to read. I'll call it result. And do those work? No. Well, we save it somewhere. I guess it's table selections mapped. And it's the tables. Columns. Okay. And they're okay tests. This is all the I/O stuff, though. Okay. All right. Now we'll run those tests. All right. Did we have 2 failures before? I don't know. Test saves. Oh, I did change it. Yes, I did. Okay, let's change it in the database configuration. That's going to go away. Well, that's good. Error format is wrong. Why is it configuration? Oh. Show thread format mismatch. Well, let's come back to that test. Okay, so we wrote config. We gave it unsupported format. I bet we don't copy format in when we do to memento. Or from memento. Yeah, we don't. Okay, so let's let format equals memento dot format. Okay, that's a good thing. I'm going to commit, but we need to run it because I think that's where it falls apart. But I also know the stuff crossing that line, that it's writing files and dealing with the UI kit is not going to be unit tested. All right, but we made database selection, or how about we used database selection for all file I/O. Yeah, I think it's a good sign. I mean, these tests cover a lot of cases of what's going on, but I think there's going to be a gap because today they go from the memento. I'm not even sure why it didn't complain, honestly. Maybe I'm just not remembering it like it is. Okay, so if I do create database config, and let's just get the class table, and this is going to be test 1219.st. Okay, save. Now, I don't know why that's set now, but that does tell me it wrote. And open database. Okay, I should get just the person, the class table. All right, and now I'm going to switch back to the file, and I'm going to open ours, which is test 1219.st. Well, like you said, it's supposed to work. All right. I think that's that keyboard issue. Gesture, input arbitration. Yeah, I think that's all simulator stuff there. But that seemed to work. All right. Is there anything left to check in? No. Okay. I don't know why this is like the third or fourth time we've gone after this, and something came up each time. But that is good. All right. Now I guess we get to clean out. Now selection. Let's see. Stuff is, well, the variables are there. Okay, who's calling to memento? Database selection tests. Save configuration view does not call to memento. Memento equals that. Memento includes active tables and columns. I think this is a useless test at this point. This is all testing to memento. Let's see, is this one? Memento, yeah. Yeah, so all this stuff automatically comes for free with the Codable approach. All right, so from memento we still use, but to memento I think is gone. All right, so let's get rid of these tests. Well, let's make sure it's, yeah, that's from memento, okay. Yeah, so if I delete database selection to memento, all right, then these tests have to go. And we don't need them anymore because this is all done automatically by Codable now. Memento to memento. Right. Okay. That should run. Okay, so we removed to memento. Okay. Now, from memento is not as easy because we have these tests. Whoops. Where were those tests? Database configuration tests. Yeah, these tests. I think that's the ones we just edited. They are using mementos instead of the real thing. So I would say these tests belong. Well, no, they're database configuration tests. They're okay. But I think we need to make them work not using from memento. Well, do they? Well, let's make sure. Right, who calls this? We did that a bunch in the test. Okay, database selection, yeah. Selection tests. Oh, that's from memento. And then this. Okay. Don't know where that came from. All right. So now I think we need to create the selection empty and then muck with its format. Okay, so let's create the selection empty, muck with its format, equals unsupported format. And is it not a writable property? Property selection. Oh. Var. Is config used anymore? Okay. We create a configuration, create a selection, create a file name. We write the file name with the selection. We open it. If we attempt to open it, we should get a format mismatch. All right, how's this test doing? Good. Okay. Detects error if format is wrong. Saves database info. Config. Let's rename this to result. Okay, so it's trying to read the database we just had. This should be database selection dot support format. And I don't know, at some point I seem to have reversed what I thought should come first. I'm trying to do expected actual. I don't know. I think when I first learned JUnit, I always thought about it wrong. Okay. All right, so that should still be good. I don't know if this is database configuration. It's not the best name. Okay, configuration selection equals that. So this one should still be okay. Okay, open to text file not found. Configuration.open, database configuration. Okay, that's nothing with us. Open to text decoding error. Invalid text. Invalid JSON. Write to file path. Okay. Database configuration equals database configuration. Open. Right, that's nothing to do with our selection. Okay, here's config. Var selection. Okay, save original config. All right, so we're gonna make a var database. All right, we have to set the database name. And then we need to do we add table, or what do we do to get a table in there? table selection. I want the table to be named class, columns to be named name. Okay. I think that takes care of that one. Let's make sure. Table names, table selection. Don't need this anymore. Configuration.save with file name configuration. Result is read. Reverse the order again. Okay. Check this one. Vertical parameter alignment. Yeah. All right, that passed. We can get rid of this junk. Save disallowed. Okay. Selection. Save should not allow overwrite. Yes. Okay. All right. So remove use of database selection constructor that took a memento. All right, and now database selection, nobody should be calling this. Well, I missed a couple. I don't know why that keeps showing up, but these two. Oh, well, we don't need test from memento anymore. Test from memento. We do need the working schema stuff because that's our big job at this point. We hold some data and then we turn it into big old schemas. Okay, and we check table messages. All right. All right, and I think that's it for this. Okay, and given that we don't really need an explicit initializer when we just have the one. All right, deleted more code than we added today, I think. Remove database selection dat init with database config memento. And then database config memento. I don't think anybody's using it. Database selection. No. Good. Okay, delete now unused database config memento. Okay, well, the timing for that worked out pretty good. All right, so we've basically done this. All right, so I think that covers the work we wanted to do for database selection, getting that using a struct and taking out all the pieces that relied on that. Now we're back to some new features, selecting configurations, creating table references and column names that you can rename. I think I'm going to pass on that one. Save before opening or switching database, that would be nice. But we're in a good place. So tomorrow is Wednesday. We'll meet 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC. That's the last session for this week and actually for this year, except I may come in and do a session or two online, but I won't work on SortTables. I'll work on some other stuff I've been putting off for a year or more. But that may or may not happen. But at any rate, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And if not, have a good New Year, and I'll catch you starting January 2nd. Yeah, it's still, I don't think anything we touch should change anything. I'll give it a quick run. So we should be able to open that, what's it called? Test 1219.st. Yeah, still there. All right. So anyway, good session. Yeah, I'm happy to be through this. It's some pretty big changes in last week and this week. Well, half of last week. I'm glad they've come together, and I think it's a big improvement on the parts that were so ugly before. So anyway, thanks for joining, and again, have a good New Year. Have a good evening, and if not, have a good New Year. Bye-bye.